Carl Opperman, CEO of Agri Western Cape. There are a lot of agris all over the country in different areas. What is the function of an agri such as yours?
I think the most important thing is the organized agriculture is divided into 3 divisions. Let's say the first division is your agri-businesses, which is basically the value-added side. Then you've got your commodity chambers, which is the standardization, the research and the marketing side of the produce. And your third chamber is a general chamber, which is basically going back from farmer level to the agriculture associations, divided into local areas, into regions, back into a province. Those 9 provinces forms Agri SA, for instance, a general chamber. We do deal with government on a national basis. Agri SA will deal with the national government. Where they need us to support them, they'll pull us in. But on provincial basis, we meet provincial governments and municipalities, a third level of government. That's where we will be interacting. If we need a national perspective, we will get the mother body out from Pretoria to assist us. And the mother body will get our assistance again if they've got to put a presentation in certain areas where they need more information.
State of farming in the Western Cape, which is more in your backyard, how good is it?
I would say at the moment we in a good shape. We've had a very good wheat crops. The weather has been playing up lately. We've had very interesting weather conditions last year, from hail to snow to floods to droughts. Last night we had another belt of hail going through in some of the fruit areas. Friday afternoon we had some hail again in the cereals area. For this time of year it's not normal.
And for the wheat, they don't need to bake it in an oven when it's already baking.
When it's baking. So at the end of the day, I would say, if we look overall at the whole situation,
farming's not for wussies.
It's not for sissies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's put it the other way around to you. At the moment in the Western Cape, we've got certain areas there's a bit of a drought. We've had some severe floods that's coming through with infrastructural damages. We've got crops on our lands. We've had a very good wheat crop. So if we look at overall at that, we're not in a bad state. If I compare myself to Northern Cape and Northwest Province, and if I compare myself to the grain areas which has been late in producing, I would say that this time we got the longest stick, not the short stick. But like you know, the wheel will turn again.
Let's go there, because some good news now, and not many people are aware of this, and I think it's extremely sad that the publicity and I actually lay the blame squarely in the hands of the farmers and the unions or whatever represents them. The people in the Northwest and the drought areas of the Free State were in dire straits, and the Western Cape sent bales and bales of animal feed up there and everything at their expense. And if I'm correct now, a train appeared and took off a whole load of carriages loaded, or wagons with all this on board. Am I right?
You're quite correct to the point where we've collected about 2,500 tons of feed to take up to the Northwest and Northern Province.
But why do we have to find that out surreptitiously? Why wasn't that shouted from the highest tree? Hey guys, stop blaming us for being bad guys. We are good guys.
But the sad story about this is Transnet on the 2nd of January said to us, we've got the trains, I've put everything in place to get the fodder. We today, what is our date today? We the 18th of February. No train yet. No. So all my fodder is standing,
rotting,
at the silos where we're going to pick it up. I've got 7, 8 pickup points, delivering it at 3 points, and we're all standing and waiting for the trains to come so that we can load them. We're daily in contact with Transnet, asking them what is happening. We're waiting for the CEO just to sign off the document, and I don't know how many months he's still going to wait.
Let's move on now to the African farmers, because if we don't satisfy that area within the farming community, we have government on our backs within the farming community. And I say we because of the magazine that I'm reporting for at the moment, Harvest SA. government is very vociferous about how the farmer is not, and there's always talk about land grabbing and land reform, which is a silly exercise to take good commercial farming away. But we have to create something for the black aspirant farmer. What are we doing, Carl?
You're quite correct. There's a lot of been done already for black upcoming farmers, previous disadvantaged people. And we've got quite a few success stories that's coming through. But what we've also got to realize in this whole process, everybody is running after land. You are running after land, I'm running after land, everybody's running after land. But the crisis we're having is that the idea is if you've got a piece of land, you've got wealth, all your problems is over. Remember, land is only one of the 5 production factors.
Water.
Water is the
fuel.
most crisis one. No. You've got to have labor. You've got to have the natural resources around it. You've got to have the land, and you've got to be an entrepreneur. And to get into entrepreneurship is you've got to be somebody that knows what is the steps and stuff to take. Now, I can say to you, we've got a lot of black farmers that we can talk to, and you can say to you that very successful farmers. And those are the people we've got to push further. But there's another linkage to this whole thing we've got to develop. And the development of this whole linkage is that if we really want to empower the people in the rural areas, it's not going to happen only on land. It's going to happen benefication, value added. That's got to go through. And there's much more people we're going to empower in those areas. So then we're going to get more bang for our buck than we're just going to put people on land. What is our next crisis? If you look at the type of investment in farming, if it's a maize farmer or a wheat farmer, needs X amount of hectares to plant with X amount of equipment that's got to come with. If you look at vineyards, if you look at orchards, massive capital investments. Much smaller areas, but massive capital investments. And the add-on that you need to finance that and put it through is big money. You can't put rent-a-crowds on there. You've got to identify the right jockey, the right person, push him through, but then on that, we've got to put the value added on, and that's where we've got to put these people in, and to see how we can help them to come out of the poverty trap.
Okay, let's move on to another point here, and a name that's going to make shudders go down your spine, Noisy Peterson. Suddenly appointed as a government advisor on a government board, and very able, capable people removed from that board by Minister Tina Jo Matt-Peterson. What does Agri West think of that?
You know, Nosy Peterson, year 2000, we had a lot of meetings in my offices. I had a lot of meetings in his offices. We discussed a lot of things. We tackled things together. One of the things that we've put together is the Agri CETA, which started in our offices. Agri Westcape was part and parcel funding at that point in time. They didn't have funds to go up to Pretoria to put the whole CETA in place. We've had long discussions with Nosy Peterson. But unfortunately, along the way, things just started drifting away, and money got in the way of everybody else's. So at the end of the day, yes, Nosy Peter at the moment is a very strong vehicle for government to see if they can get X amount of the votes.
He was singularly responsible for the Duderns situation, where the riots took place, where the strikes took place, and now they want to do it again.
I think what they're doing now is to say to him, Nosy, you've done your job, move on to the next one.
So he's politically going up the ladder.
I haven't seen what their list is. I don't know what their list is going to be like. We don't know what the future, what Nosy, which route he wants to go. But at the end of the day is, if Nosy is prepared to come to the table, we've had discussions with Nosy last year. We've put some facts on the table for him. We said to him, this is what we can put on the table. Are you prepared to join it?
Let's end up with this point. There are good and bad things in every walk of life. There are good and bad farmers. How much control have you got over the bad ones?
That's an interesting question. I've had some bad apples in my box. And when it's been brought under our attention, we go and visit them. And we say to them, this is what we've picked up, this is what's happening, is it true, yes or no? And then we say to them, right guys, how are we going to assist you to fix what's wrong? And if they don't want to play ball with us, then we've got different laws that we can use to take this. I've got a good working relationship with the Department of Labour. I've got a good working relationship with my commodity chambers. I've got a good relationship with the market. I can say to you, many years ago, we've had a problem on a farm. The person wouldn't listen to us. We sent senior farmers to him, and they had a long chat to him, and he was also not forthcoming. And within 24 hours, we spoke to the marketplace. And the marketplace came back and said to him, you've got so many hours, we're closing your gates. Today, that person is one of our model farmers.
Congratulations. Let's end up with this final thing. Government and farmers are two different, and I use the word respectfully, animals. Neither one speaks the other one's language. Yet there is a continual way of wanting to deal with each other, and it's not going anywhere. How are we going to solve that problem?
I think the first thing that we've got to do is that we must first try and find out which is the common areas we can work together.
But that's been going on for years. We've had 20 years of it, and we haven't found those common areas.
But that is your problem, is that we've got people in government that does not understand agriculture production. And the moment we can get them to understand the agriculture production and the way to produce and the way to do things, I believe we're going to get there.